great releases coming up in this session, as well as some really precise activations for some of the really key muscles that we need when we're riding. So we're going to start by releasing the back of the neck and the upper traps so that they don't take over when we want our contact muscles further down to get into action. So sit up on your seat bones, nice and long through the back of the neck, hands lightly on the back of the head near the top. We're going to tuck the chin, nod the head, and then resisting with the hands, we're going to lift the head, lengthening through the back of the neck, lift the head up into the hands with about 10% effort, 10% resistance, moving very slowly through upright to look to the ceiling, shortening through the back of the neck, and then release and have a little move through. And we'll go again. So hands light on the back and top of the head, tuck the chin, double chin, nod the head down, and then we're going to move the head, just lightly pushing back into the hands, the head just about winning out to create that movement. Long through the back of the neck as we come up through upright, and then shortening the back of the neck as we look towards the ceiling, and gently release. Have a nod through. And one more. So hands behind the head, double chin, nod the head down, long through the back of the neck. And then really thinking of this lifting up and back through, kind of proud back of the neck. And then coming through the center. And then shortening through the back of the neck. Feel the front of the neck get to work here. Look to the ceiling. And then release and have a little nod through. Brilliant, well done. So from here, we're going to take the feet out in front of us and the hands behind wide for stability. Take the knees over into a sort of loose and rough 90-90. You want to keep the hips loose and soft, because what we're going to do here is we are going to windscreen wiper the legs. So everything is soft and loose here. This is just about getting mobility and softness through the hips. There's no effort, there's no force here. It's just about lightness and softness through the hips and increasing the range of motion that we have there. Lovely. And just another round. Brill. And then come to sit up on your seat bones with your feet around about mat width or just a little bit wider. Now, if you struggle to get upright here, I used to really struggle with this, pop a cushion under the back of your bum here for support. Okay, so from here, sitting nice and tall, head reaching up to the ceiling, hands to prayer. We're going to sit up tall and twist. And then the full twist, the hand is going to reach towards the shin, ankle, or outside of the foot, and then take the other hand back to assist you with the stretch. So here then we're just going to breathe and allow the muscles through the back and the side of the back, down the side of the spine to soften. And just take your time here, reaching only as far as you can do so comfortably. If you can take it a bit further, then do. Before slowly and gently releasing back up. Sit tall, hands to prayer. Tall twist to the other way. The hand comes out, reaches to the shin, ankle or foot. Other hand comes back to assist the stretch and just gives a little bit of traction there and pushes you slightly into that stretch. And breathe here. Feel the length through that open side of the back of the body. Feel the air expand. And gently release and come back up. Lovely. So now let's try a new way to get into our old friend, the piriformis and the smaller glute muscles, and to stretch them off. So we're going to sit with the legs at 90 degrees and 90 degrees, or as close as you can get them at the moment, okay? So here you want to prioritise having that front thigh pointing straight forward. It matters less if the shin is more tucked in like this than if it's at right angles, so just get it where you can. Turn to face forward over that front thigh. We're going to hinge forward from the hip over that leg and get to where you can feel the stretch deep in that glute. If you're not quite feeling it in the right place, then do feel free to sort of uncurl and reset and just have a play with the angle of the leg, really prioritizing having that thigh straight out in front of you. Think of lifting the tailbone here and pushing that seat bone away to behind you. And breathe here, just breathe. We're going to be here for another 30 seconds or so, so get comfortable. You can rest on your elbow, you can hold the foot if that helps. You can be up on your hands, wherever it is that you're getting to. Provided you're feeling some stretch deep into that glute, you're in the right place. Don't strain the knee here, don't strain the lower back. Just go where is right for you today. And hang out and breathe. And just visualize those muscles softening and give them time to let go. And when you're ready, you can release and set up on the other side. So taking the legs to 90-90 if you can, but not worrying too much about that front one, just trying to make sure that the thigh is straight out in front of the body, and then hinge forward from the hip, get to where you can get to. Think of lifting the tailbone, breathe here, get comfortable, make sure the upper body is supported. You don't want any tension anywhere with this. You need everything to feel supported so that your muscles can relax, so that you can let that muscle chill out and release. If you're kind of clamping into it, then the muscle won't be able to let go. So up on the hands if you need to, down on the elbows if you can. And just breathe, 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 and give that muscle a chance to let go. Definitely likely to feel tighter on one side than the other. Lovely job. So slowly and gently release, uncurl the legs. And from here, we're going to come to work on all fours so that we can start to activate some of those muscles in the seat that we've just hopefully helped sort of release and get equalized. So from all fours, roll your shoulders, nice big shoulder roll back and down to make sure that the shoulder blades feel like they're plugged into the back. From here, first leg is going to lift with the knee at 90 degrees, heel pushing up. Your heel is going to poke the ceiling. So up and back, up and back. So tiny little movement here, but really pushing away with the heel. Activating that back of the leg. One more. Lovely. We're sticking with the same leg for the next one. So drop down onto the opposite elbow and take that leg we just worked out long and strong. Heel turns in, toes point out and away. And from here, little lifts. So up and down, up and down. Reaching long with the leg. Thinking length as well as strength. And focusing on that feeling in the little muscles in the glute that are driving the action. One more. Lovely. Now stay up and bring the foot down to rainbow in front and then lift back to where it was. Rainbow and reach to the front, lift back to where it was. This is tough, I know. So get where you can, sit out a rep if you need to. Reach long with the leg. Just one more. And tap and reach. Lovely. Drop the leg back down and come back into a nice long child's pose. So push the seat bones away and reach the hands away in front of you to feel a stretch all the way through the back, but also into that glute muscle that you've just worked. And breathe. And let the muscles let go. So these are tough, but they're super effective. So you can come up now to set up on the other side. I'll just spin round. So hands below shoulders, knees below hips. The other leg is going to lift with the knee at 90 and the heel pushing up. And from here, the heel will poke the ceiling and poke. Try and drive this from the glute more than the hamstring if you can. It's quite a small movement. You should feel an opening through the front of the hip as well. Lovely job. One more. And drop down onto the opposite elbow. Take that working leg out long and strong. Heel in, toes out, and we're going to lift towards the ceiling. So when you're ready, little pokes, really focusing. You should feel this in the outside of that glute and focusing on the feeling and the control. Just one more. Lovely. Now bring the foot round to rainbow in front and back to where it was. Arc round in front and back. Just keep moving through the hip here. Breathing in a natural rhythm. And one more. Tap and reach back. Lovely, well done. You can bring the leg down and bring the bum back in a child's pose. And again, really imagine reaching the seat bones along behind you and the shoulders away, so you're creating a feeling of length through the back and into the glutes. And breathe and enjoy a few seconds of rest. Roll up when you're ready. We're going to come to side lying now for a little more work into the seat. So really targeting those muscles that stabilize us in the saddle and give us full control over our legs and also the symmetry of our pelvis when we ride. So you know the setup by now. From here, your top leg is going to lift and reach long, toes reach away, rotate top of the foot up, baby circles first. So tiny little circles, drawing with the big toe, brushing the heels as you pass. Lovely job. Working with control, keeping those circles as round as you can, and reverse back the other way. So really visualizing that circle and controlling the shape of it from the hip. All the movement is in the hip. And that leg is reaching long, long, long as you do it. Now bigger for 4. So bring the leg round. The back bit here is the tricky bit. So really focusing on the control and the shape of that circle. Feeling the work into the glute. Focus on those hips. Keep those hips stable so that all the work is coming from the leg. Last one this way. That's lovely. Reverse it. So back the other way and up and over. Notice how this feels different in the hip. Reach that leg as long as you can. Long, 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 long. That's how we make these as effective as they possibly can be. And the last one here. Brilliant. Now bring the heels back in line with the bum for clam. So you know the drill with this one by now. So your hips are going to be stacked. And you're going to open the knee only as much as you can control it with the glute. So keep that top hip honest. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to open the knee. And inhale back with control. Exhale to open. Inhale back with control. So we're going to 10 of these. So again, really focus on that top hip. Make sure it's not going anywhere. All of the movement is inside the hip, and this movement is being instigated and controlled by the glute. And that knee is only opening as far as you can drive the movement with the glute, and you're not giving yourself cramp. So it's okay for it to feel quite intense, but we don't want to be getting it full on cramp because life's too short for that. So keep breathing, keep those heels and toes together. Last one. And control it back down. Brilliant, well done. Bring the knees forward to sort of hip level for a variation on our chest opener to help get our shoulders back. So be up on your side with your head on your arm. Top arm reaches up. Now roll the whole shoulder back towards the mat as the arm moves up towards the head and back towards the mat. Let the weight of the arm create the stretch. Let that shoulder fall towards the mat. If this feels too intense on your lower back, you can either let the knees lift a little bit, or even better, bring them higher and closer into your body, as close as you need to go to the body to release any sort of feeling of twisting in the lower back. So a good twist is good, but if it's uncomfortable, then bring the knees closer to the body. So this muscle is absolutely crucial for our shoulder posture and enabling us to begin our contact between our shoulder blades rather than sort of getting tight through the chest and the shoulder rolling forward and all of the contact coming through tension in the arms. So release and set up for that whole series on the other side. So over you come. Line yourself up along the mat. Feet off the front corner. And head in your hand if that's what works best for you. Top leg lifts, reaches long, toes reach away, rotate top of the foot up, baby circles. Brush the heels, reach long with that leg. Really feel like the leg is operating as one solid sort of pole here, coming out of the hip. So there's no movement going on in the ankle or the knee. Everything is in the hip. Lovely. And reverse it. And focus on the shape of that circle, the control of that circle. You control the speed. Nothing happens with momentum. Everything is about control and precision. Now we're going to go bigger for 4. So round, round, round. You don't need to go as big as this. Just go wherever feels good to you. This bit as you come behind is probably the bit that will give you away. So make it smaller if you need to. Hold that hip steady. Keep the hips honest. Just one more this way. Reaching long with that leg, really long. And reverse the circle. Will feel different going this way. Keep that control as the leg comes back down. This is much exercise, much strengthening, bringing the leg down as lifting it up. That's lovely, well done. So bring the heels now back in line with the bum. Get yourself lined up. And when you're ready, we're going to open the knee, keep the toes and knees and heels together. Control it on the way up and control it on the way down and control that hip. Make sure the hip isn't opening. Really focus on keeping the feet together, so keeping the toes and the heels in contact. It's tempting to start to cheat by letting the feet come apart. And let that movement be as small as it needs to be pure and to be correct. And feel the work deep, deep, deep around the seat bone. Just one more. And release. Fabulous. So bring the knees closer in towards the hip level now for our chest opener. So head lies on the upper arm. The top hand reaches up towards the ceiling. And you're going to allow the shoulder and the head, see I haven't given myself much room here, allow the shoulder and the head to fall back down towards the mat. It doesn't matter if the elbow bends, what matters is the angle of your upper arm and the angle that your arm is coming out of the shoulder. So how close is your upper arm to your head? Have a play with that angle. Normally you need it elevated, you need it lifted towards the head to get into the muscle that we're trying to target. But have a play with where the stretch feels best for you. Adjust the knees if you need to, if that feels quite intense on your lower back. And when you hit the spot with this one, with the muscle that runs through the front of the armpit and into the behind the pec, it will feel quite intense. You will know when you've got it and you'll know if you need it. And most of us do need this, but yeah, it can feel pretty ooh when you get there. And when it's had a few seconds to release, you can bring the arm back in and roll over to lie on your front. Get yourself aligned here, nice long legs. We're going to start with a classic dart, so the arms reach back as both ends of the body lift. Inhale to prepare, exhale to activate the whole of the back body to lift and reach the fingers towards the toes. And inhale to release. Move with the breath. Exhale to go again. Lift and activate through the back of the body to reach the hands towards the toes. And inhale to release. Move with the breath. Exhale to activate the back of the body, lifting every single muscle through the back of the body is active as you reach the fingers towards the toes. And release. One more. We're going to exhale to activate. Feel every single muscle through the back of the body get to work as you reach the shoulders and the hands towards the feet, and the feet come up as high as they can. and inhale to return. Lovely, well done. Take the arms to reach long overhead. The weight of the arms now will give us an added challenge. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to lift just the top of the body and swim the arms steadily, one side and then the other. Nearly there. And release back down. So next we're going to swim the legs on their own, strengthening the lower back. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to reach the toes long and lift, and a steady swim with the legs. With control, everything is slow and precise and controlled. Just keep breathing here, remember to breathe. Nearly there. Lovely job, and release back down. Now let's put it together. Inhale to prepare. Exhale and everything reaches long and comes up, and diagonal pairs for a steady swim. Keep breathing here. It's really tempting to hold your breath. Just a few more seconds. Nearly there, nearly there, nearly there. And release back down. Brilliant. Well done. Those are tough. It's really tough. And very tempting to hold your breath. So come back into your child's pose. Take some big deep breaths here and counter stretch all through the back, through the spine, through the lats, into the shoulders, into the glutes. Lovely. So let's get a bit more stretch in for the back now. So from your child's pose, come forward to all fours. We're going to move steadily into a cat stretch. So arching up, 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 up. Hold, hold, hold. Then come back to neutral. And then back up into cat. Hold, hold, hold for the full exhale. Come back to neutral. And just keep moving steadily through for the full breath cycle. Lovely. Now on this one, we're going to stay up. Take the bum towards the heels. And move the quarters slowly to one side and then the other. So moving through human travers, human renvers, opening up through the side of the body. Love this stretch. It's brilliant. Fabulous. And then come back to centre, back to all fours. And just one last stretch for today. You've earned these stretches. This is for the glutes. So come to sitting. You can sit either with the leg straight or the foot tucked under if easier. So either leg straight like that or tucked under like this. The other foot comes across to plant down. Both seat bones stay down on the mat. And we're going to turn into that leg and twist around. So this isn't the piriformis stretch with where we sort of curl up into a ball. This is more of a classic glute stretch. So we're sitting tall and both seat bones are staying anchored. And feel the release in the glute, and then release and set up on the other side. So again, the leg can be straight or it can be tucked. Take the foot over and then hug the body into the knee and twist through and push that seat bone down into the mat. And just breathe here and enjoy that feeling of release deep into the glutes and also a bit through the back from the twist. Great job, really good job today. And you can release. So don't worry if some of that felt tough. That was a really thorough set of releases and activations and strengtheners, not only for the seat, but also the postural muscles of the back. Loads of people shy away from working the back, but we know that for most riders, it's actually usually weaker than the abs. So there's so much to gain from getting the body back into balance. See you next time.